So, in this lecture, we are going to see UPSC 2018 Geography and Agriculture questions. So, let us start with the first question. So, first question on your screen, you can see this. Which one of the following is an artificial lake? First option is Kodaikanal, which is in Tamil Nadu, Koleru, Andhra Pradesh, नैनीताल उत्तराखंड, रेणुका हिमाचल प्रदेश. अभी अगर यहाँ पे आप देखोगे तो आप यहाँ पे लॉजिक कैसे इस्तेमाल करोगे उसका थोड़ा सा हम एक जैसे कि आपको कुछ पता नहीं है कि इसमें से आर्टिफिशियल लेक कौन सा है. So you can see that most of these lakes, they are the pilgrim places. Generally, pilgrim places, wherever you have lakes, they are never artificial lakes. Very few places where you have pilgrim places where you have lakes, they are artificial. But generally, they are not artificial. They are natural lakes. So, for example, here you can see option D, Renuka, Himachal Pradesh. So, Renuka is a pilgrim place of goddess Renuka, and that is a natural lake. Okay, Nainital is again a goddess Naina Devi is there. So it is a story in the Purana that the Parvati's eyes fell over there. Okay, this Daksha Yajna and all these stories there. The Parvati's eye fell over there, and this lake called as a Nainital. Tal means lake have been created. So Nainital भी नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि ये भी एक pilgrim place है. So Nainital is also not an artificial lake. So Renuka is not there. Nainital is not there. Then Koleru. Koleru is on the border of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so it is actually like a sea border of Andhra Pradesh. So it is in the coastal region. So on the coastal region also you don't have many artificial lakes. This is a lagoon, a kind of lagoon. Okay, so Koleru is definitely not an artificial lake. So यहाँ पे क्या बचता है? कोडाई कैनाल. कोडाई कैनाल, तो इसमें आप नाम देखो, कोडाई कैनाल. So canal means it's something artificially created. Okay, so here logically, without not knowing the options, whether which is the artificial lake and which is a natural lake, you can be definitely sure that Kodai Canal can be an artificial lake. And actually Kodai Canal is an artificial lake. So Britishers के time पे वहाँ पे in 1863, that 1860s, this Kodai Canal town was developed. So at the time of Britishers, so Christian missionaries used to come from the USA. So Christian missionaries, they wanted to give them the best facilities in the south. So what these Britishers did, so they created this town called Kodai Canal. And now Christian missionaries came, they need some good facilities. So they wanted to create a lake as well. So one of the British collector of Madurai at that point of time, he created that artificial lake called as Kodai Canal. So Kodai Canal is today is also one of the famous tourist place. Okay, so the correct option over here is a Kodai Canal. सो आर्टिफिशियल लेक यहाँ पे कौन सा है? कोडाई कैनाल. तो जनरली ये चीज याद रखो कि जहां पे भी पिलग्रिम प्लेसेस आपको दिखते हैं वहां पे जनरली आर्टिफिशियल लेक नहीं होते. वेरी रेयरली पिलग्रिम प्लेसेस पे, जैसे हिंदू पिलग्रिम प्लेसेस आर जनरली ऑन द banks of the rivers or on the banks of the lakes. Jainese pilgrim places are always on the top of the mountain. They are rarely on the surrounding the water bodies. Okay, many Jaina pilgrim places, if you see, they are away from the water bodies. Hindu pilgrim places are always closer to the water bodies. And these water bodies are always natural water bodies where you have various mythological stories like this god put his feet over there, so lake has been created, or this god has put his nails over there, so lake has been created. So these types of stories are there. So here you can see Nainital and Renuka both are all the story of these Devis are there. Koleru is the coastal region of Andhra, and Kodai Canal is in Tamil Nadu. The canal itself indicates that it's in artificial. Okay, so this is the question 1. Let us see the question number 2. So question number 2. Okay, consider the following statement. In India, state governments do not have power to auction non-coal mines. It's the first statement. तो अगर इंडिया के स्टेट गवर्नमेंट में हम देखें कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट डू नॉट हैव पावर टू ऑक्शन द कोल माइन, इट इज नॉट ट्रू. स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को कुछ तो रेवेन्यू चाहिए. ओके, कोल इज वन ऑफ द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज. इफ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट कैन ऑक्शन इट, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एटलीस्ट सम स्मॉल लाइक you have a sand and all these things, they can auction these things. So minor minerals that we call it. So definitely state government need some revenue, so some mines will be under the control of state government. So logically यहाँ पे देखा जाए, so this is a very extreme statement that in India state government do not have any power to auction non-coal mines. So this itself indicates that this is a wrong. So statement 1 is wrong. Okay, statement 1 अगर wrong होता है तो कौन से ऑप्शन चले जाते हैं? A चला गया, C चला गया, बचा कौन सा? B and D. So let us see. Andhra Pradesh and Jharkhand do not have gold mines. Again, if you see, Andhra Pradesh have gold mines. Jharkhand also have gold mines. Okay, so if you know some minerals and their reserves, Andhra Pradesh have very good gold mines. Okay, so statement 2 is wrong. Okay, so statement 2 अगर wrong होता है तो क्या बचता है? अभी B भी चला जाता है. Okay, so बचा D. So option D is a correct option. So Rajasthan has iron ores. Rajasthan definitely has iron ores. Okay, so I think I have a map for that as well. So here you can see that Andhra Pradesh has gold mines, Jharkhand has gold mines. Okay, so statement B becomes wrong in this way. Okay, so like this you can solve the questions. Next question: among the following cities, which one lies on the longitude closest to that of Delhi? Now these types of questions are very difficult questions. Okay, if you don't know the exact answer, then you should not try these types of questions. Among the following cities, which one lies on the longitude closest to that of Delhi? So पहले तो आपको सोचना पड़ेगा कि okay, longitude means what? These are the vertical lines. Okay, they have imaginary lines we call as a longitude. So ये vertical lines जो है दिल्ली से कौन से भी जाती हो, so vertical lines means the straight line of Delhi. Okay, exactly which city lies? So you have 4 options. First is a Bengaluru, second is a Hyderabad, third is Nagpur and D is Pune. तो अभी इसमें से पुणे तो एलिमिनेट हो जाता है क्योंकि दिल्ली और पुणे एक स्ट्रेट लाइन में है ही नहीं. तो पुणे इज फार अवे फ्रॉम द लॉन्गिट्यूड. Definitely it is far away. It is closer to Mumbai. It is very close to the coastal region. Delhi is far away from the coastal region. So definitely that longitude is not, cannot be on the longitude same on which Delhi is or closer to the longitude on which Delhi is. So option D यहाँ पे ही eliminate हो रहा है, पुणे. Next comes Bengaluru, Hyderabad and Nagpur. Nagpur even if you see is a little bit logically अगर आप देखेंगे तो Nagpur भी little bit थोड़ा सा we can say it's not closer to the same longitude as of Delhi. It cannot be closer to the same longitude as of Delhi. Okay, थोड़ा सा ईस्टर्न साइड पे है कंपेयर टू दिल्ली. ओके, दिल्ली थोड़ा सा वेस्टर्न साइड पे कंपेयर टू नागपुर. सो नागपुर भी हम ऐसे एलिमिनेट कर सकते हैं. इससे बचा 2, बेंगलुरु एंड हैदराबाद. दिस इज वेरी वेरी टफ क्वेश्चन, वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन. If I am there, I would leave such type of question. I don't want to, if you don't want to lose the marks, okay, because longitude wise, Bengaluru and Hyderabad are very close to the longitude through which is passing through Delhi. Okay, so correct option here is Bengaluru. Okay, I'll show you the map. Okay, I have this map. So here you can see that on the first location, you can see this is a Delhi. Below that, this is a Nagpur. Okay, second one is a Nagpur. Third one is, this is Hyderabad and this is Bengaluru. Okay, so Delhi से अगर longitude कोई closer होगा तो वो है बेंगलुरु. पुणे यहाँ पे है, it's very far away. So Pune is very easy to eliminate. Okay. So in this way, logically you can eliminate 2 options, but you can see here Hyderabad and Bengaluru, they are very closer to the Delhi. So at the time of exam, it is very difficult to imagine such things. Okay. So these types of questions are there in UPSC. 2-3 questions will get that they are very difficult to find out the answers of such questions. Okay, let us see the next question. Consider the following statements. Okay, most of the world's coral reef are in the tropical waters. तो अगर आपको coral reefs के बारे में पता है, so you know that coral reefs are limited only from 25 degrees north to 25 degrees south of the equator. Okay, so they are found only in the tropical region because they require a temperature, okay, which should not be very low. So this type of temperature is found only in the tropical region. So statement 1 is correct. Most of the coral reefs of the world are found in the tropical region. So statement 1 is correct. तो statement 1 correct आता है तो क्या क्या eliminate हो जाता है? Option B eliminate हो जाता है. बचे 3 option A, C and D. Let us see second statement. More than one third of the world's coral reef are located in the territories of Australia, Indonesia, and Philippines. Yes, Australia has a coral region called as a Great Barrier Reef. It is one of the highest biodiversity and one of the biggest coral reef in the world. Okay, so ऑस्ट्रेलिया में है, इंडोनेशिया, फिलीपींस एंड ब्रूनेई, वहां पे भी कोरल रीफ बहुत ज्यादा है. It is one of the world's highest coral density, high density region. It's called Coral Triangle. Okay, so Australia, Indonesia, Philippines, they are in the Coral Triangle. So statement 2 is also correct. So statement 2 is correct. So यहाँ पे क्या क्या eliminate हो रहा है? C eliminate हो रहा है because इसमें 2 mention नहीं. Now let us see the statement 3. Coral reefs host far more number of animal phyla than those hosted by tropical rainforest. So this is true. You know, the evolution of life has happened through ocean. So because evolution of life has happened through ocean, definitely ocean is going to host more number of animal phyla compared to land. Life evolved later on the land than the water. So logically, if you see, so definitely coral reefs have more number of animal phyla. Biodiversity in the coral reef region is more than that of on the land. So here statement 3 is also true. Okay. So coral reefs host far more number of animal phyla than those of hosted by the tropical rainforest. So if you see the highest biodiversity in the tropical rainforest, the rainforest is a Amazon rainforest, the highest biodiversity in the world. But if you see corals, corals have even more number of species than that are found in the Amazon forest. So definitely that's why statement 3 is correct. So here option comes is option D. Okay. So the world's most biodiverse region is not Amazon forest, but it is the coral reef. I think I have a map for that as well. We can see this is a coral triangle. So this is a coral triangle. So this triangle you can see in the map. So this coral triangle goes from Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei, Malaysia, Singapore. Even it is coming into the Indian Ocean. So coral triangle is a part of Indian Ocean as well as Pacific Ocean. Okay, it is present in the northern part of the Africa and eastern part, sorry, Australia as well as eastern part of the Australia. So this is the highest biodiverse region in the world. It's a South China Sea also has a coral triangle present in there. Okay, South China is also part of coral triangle. यहाँ पे वही प्रॉब्लम हुआ है कि चाइना क्या कर रहा है, वहां पे आर्टिफिशियल आइलैंड बना रहा है. So they are making artificial island. They are using these coral reefs for making the artificial island. They are creating this floating nuclear power plants and so many things in the artificial island. So this is also one of the reason. And coral reefs are very sensitive for such things. Okay, so change in the salinity, change in the temperature, change in the water turbidity, corals will die. So I hope you guys have understood this question. Next question: which one of the following has or have shrunk immensely or dried up in the recent past due to human activities? So Aral Sea, Black Sea, Lake Baikal. So if you see this question, you should have some current affair knowledge about what is happening in the world in the geography. Like some seas and some lakes are in the news. Among that, Aral Sea was in the news. Aral Sea at one point of time it was very big lake. It is actually not a sea; it is a lake. It was very big. It was in Kazakhstan. It is part of Central Asia. Previously, some countries which were part of USSR, they were around the Aral Sea. So Aral Sea has kept on shrinking, and now even not 10% of the Aral Sea have remained. Okay, so the correct answer is Aral Sea over here. Black Sea is not shrinking. Black Sea is not at all shrinking. Aral Sea shrink होने का reason क्या है कि USSR में what happened when USSR was there, the rivers which was going into the Aral Sea and they were making the Aral Sea, they started diverting those rivers for the irrigation purpose. Now no water is reaching much to the Aral Sea. So because of that, what has happened? The Aral Sea has started shrinking, and last 50 to 60 years, it has almost shrunk completely. Okay, it is not. There is no. We cannot call it as a sea, or even we cannot call it as a lake proper. Okay, so the answer is Aral Sea. Black Sea shrink नहीं हो रहा है. Lake Baikal is in the Russia. ये भी shrink नहीं हो रहा है. It is one of the biggest lake in the world. Okay, so Aral Sea and Black Sea is not the answer. They are not. Sorry, Black Sea and Lake Baikal is not the answer. They are not shrinking. So correct answer is Aral Sea. So here option A is the only correct option. Okay. Okay. I hope you guys have understood this. Let us move to the next question. Next question. With reference to the circumstances in Indian agriculture, the concept of conservation agriculture assumes significance. Which of the following fall under the category of conservation agriculture? So conservation agriculture, the word itself talks about two things, conservation and agriculture. So you have to conserve something. In what? In agriculture. So what you can conserve in the agriculture? First of all, the quality of soil you can conserve. Second, moisture content in the agriculture you can conserve. And biodiversity of the microorganisms, insects and other species of birds you can conserve. तो ये तीन चीजें आप कंजर्व कर सकते हो. सो ये क्वेश्चन आया था योजना, ये क्वेश्चन आया था कुरुक्षेत्र से. So in 2018-17 there was November, I think there was a Kurukshetra which mentioned this word called conservation agriculture. तो ये कुरुक्षेत्र पढ़ना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है अगर आप यूपीएससी का प्रिपरेशन करते हो and if you want to solve the questions on agriculture. So Kurukshetra is very very important. It will help you in prelims as well as in mains. Okay. So what is conservation agriculture? So क्या क्या मैंने कहा, मॉइस्चर कंजर्व करना है, बायोडाइवर्सिटी कंजर्व करना है, सॉइल का क्वालिटी कंजर्व करना है. Okay. So for that, which of the following statements are correct related to this conservation agriculture? Avoiding the monoculture practices. मोनोकल्चर का और कंजर्वेशन एग्रीकल्चर का इतना कुछ रिलेशन नहीं है. मोनोकल्चर प्रैक्टिस करते करते भी आप मॉइस्चर और सॉइल क्वालिटी, बायोडाइवर्सिटी कंजर्व कर सकते हो. सो मोनोकल्चर अवॉइड करना ये इतना फिट नहीं होता कंजर्वेशन एग्रीकल्चर के कंसेप्ट में. Adopting the minimum tillage. Yes, when you do minimum tillage, what happens? The moisture, the soil does not get exposed to the sunlight, and moisture does not get evaporated from the soil. So moisture is conserved when you adopt minimum tillage. So option 2 is correct. So 1 is wrong and 2 is correct. So यहाँ पे क्या statement 1 is wrong and 2 is correct. So option A eliminate हो रहा है, option D eliminate हो रहा है. बच रहा है कौन सा? B and C. Statement 3, avoiding the cultivation of plantation crops. उससे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. आप plantation crop भी grow करो, but you conserve the moisture and you conserve the soil biodiversity. That will definitely help. So 3 भी आप avoiding cultivation of plantation crop आप कर सकते हैं. Okay. But plantation crop का कैसा है? But plantation crop का क्या होता है? देखो, plantation crop means you have a sugar cane, you have coffee, you have a tea. So they take only one kind of nutrient from the soil. So because of that, soil quality goes down. Okay. So because of that, if you can avoid the plantation crop, that is good. Okay. So if you avoid the plantation crop, this will help you. Okay. So question, the statement 1 is wrong. Okay. Avoiding monoculture practices. Avoiding cultivation of plantation crop. No, you can say it is not necessary. You can use the plantation crop. Okay. So 2 है हमारा ऑप्शन आता है. Okay. प्लांटेशन क्रॉप भी आप ग्रो कर सकते हो, अवॉइड करने की जरूरत नहीं. यूज द क्रॉप रेसिड्यू टू कवर द सॉइल सरफेस. Okay. So crop residue, when you cover the soil surface with the crop residue, what happens? The moisture gets conserved. Okay. This is called mulching. So definitely conservation agriculture में covering the soil with crop residue is also one of the options. 5th, adopting the spatial and temporal crop sequencing, crop rotation. Crop sequencing in crop rotation से क्या होता है कि एक पर्टिकुलर क्रॉप ने पर्टिकुलर टाइप के न्यूट्रिएंट्स एब्जॉर्ब किए सॉइल से. सो दूसरा क्रॉप आप रोटेशन में जब ऐड करते हो तो वो जो न्यूट्रिएंट का लॉस हुआ था वो लॉस वापस से फील हो जाता है. सो क्रॉप रोटेशन इज प्रैक्टिस बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. So for example, you have taken a sugarcane. So sugarcane will take out sulfur from the soil. It will take out nitrogen from the soil. So you grow let us say green peas. Okay. So these green peas, they will fix the nitrogen in the soil. So like this, crop rotation is very good for maintaining the quality of the soil, to maintain the nutrient quality of the soil. So option 5, the statement 5 is also correct. So option 1 is not true. 3 is not related to conservation agriculture. Okay. So 2, 4 and 5 ये तीन ही जो चीजें हैं वो conservation agriculture से related है. Adopting minimum tillage, covering the soil with the crop residue and adopting the spatial and temporal crop sequencing and crop rotation. So the correct answer is option C. Okay, understood? So you need some knowledge of agriculture to solve such type of questions. Next question. Okay, so there are benefits of conservation agriculture. I think that's not required right now. Okay, so we will move further. Next question. With reference to agriculture soils, consider the following statements. Again, this question is about agriculture soil. So क्या-क्या statements है? Let us see. High content of organic matter in the soil drastically reduces its water holding capacity. High content of organic matter in the soil drastically reduces its water holding capacity. So this is wrong. Organic content जितना ज्यादा increase होता है soil में, उतना ज्यादा water holding capacity increase होता है soil. Getting it? So as much humus content is there in the soil, the more water holding capacity is there. That's why we are saying that do afforestation, do reforestation, increase the forest cover. Because of that, what is happening? The soil humus content will increase and it will be able to hold the water. It will able to hold the rainfall. And because of that, overall water content in the ground will increase. Overall water content in the rivers will increase. Overall water content in the wells, in the lakes will increase. So, high organic matter will increase the water holding capacity and this statement is contradictory. So, statement 1 is wrong. So, statement 1 अगर wrong होता है तो क्या होता है? A, C and D तीनों eliminate हो जाता है. Automatically answer आ जाता है. What is the answer? Option B. So, a basic thing if you know, this basic thing is given in all books, all environment books and when in notes they are given. So, high content of organic matter increases the water holding capacity of the soil. और बाकी के दो तो सही है. Soil does not play any role in the sulfur cycle. This is wrong. Soil definitely plays role in the sulfur cycle. Okay, soil has to play because there are some bacteria, some microorganisms in the soil which help to degrade the sulfur. Okay, protein containing the sulfur. Irrigation over a period of time can contribute to the salinization of some amount of agriculture. Definitely, if you do more irrigation, irresponsible usage of water in the agriculture leads to the salinization. Whether you use the drip irrigation or you use the canal irrigation or use the furrow irrigation or sprinkler irrigation, irresponsible usage of water is going to salinate the land. So option 3 is only correct. But option 3 तक जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं क्योंकि स्टेटमेंट ए जो है वो अगर स्टेटमेंट 1 जो है उसे हम देखेंगे स्टेटमेंट 1 रॉन्ग होता है तो क्या होता है ऑटोमेटिकली बाकी के ए सी एंड डी ये तीनों ऑप्शन एलिमिनेट हो जाते हैं और कौन सा बचता है ऑप्शन बी. सो लाइक दिस यू कैन सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. सो यूपीएससी एग्जाम में नेसेसरी नहीं कि आपको सारा पता होना चाहिए, सारे ऑप्शन सही या गलत पता होने चाहिए. एलिमिनेशन मेथड से भी आप चीजों को सॉल्व कर सकते हो. Okay, so let us move to the next question. With reference to the organic farming in India, consider the following statement. Okay, the National Program for Organic Production (NPOP) is operated under the guidelines and directions of Indian Ministry of Rural Development. So for this, you should know all the schemes related to agriculture. Okay. If you know the schemes related to agriculture, then only this type of question can be solved. So here you should understand that this NPOP, this program comes under Ministry of Industry and Commerce and not under the Ministry of Rural Development. So ये option जो है statement 1 is wrong. So यहाँ पे क्या eliminate हो रहा है? Statement 1 wrong आ रहा है तो option A eliminate हो रहा है, option D eliminate हो रहा है. बचता है statement 2 and 3. So let us read the third statement. What it says, Sikkim has become India's first fully organic state. This is correct. If you know the current affairs, if you read it, Sikkim is the first state who has become complete organic state. They are also trying to create it as an orchard of India. They want to grow all the fruit trees over there. Okay, fruit farming. Next option, the statement 2, the Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority (APEDA) functions as a secretariat for the implementation of NPOP. This is true. Okay, so APEDA is functioning as a Secretariat for the implementation of NPOP. So कौन सा ऑप्शन सही है इसमें से? B. Option B is the correct option. Okay. So in this way, for that you should know all the agriculture related schemes. So definitely one question is definitely being asked every year. Okay, in agriculture. So schemes, you should definitely by heart all the schemes of agriculture. One question is definitely being asked on these schemes. Next question. Okay. Okay. I think these are all the questions which are asked in 2018 exam. I hope you guys have understood how to solve this question. And if you have any queries, you can write us to the Level Up IS. And if you like this, please subscribe to our website. Thank you. See you in the next part.